very warm welcome to you all. Let me start by congratulating our Innovation Factory finalists. We welcome applications from hundreds of startups each year. You have faced very strong competitions. Making it to the finals is an outstanding achievement. I have no doubt that on this global stage, you will meet new partners and investors and share your ambitions. That's what our Innovation Factory is all about. We are helping AI startups make their solutions known to all our summit delivered diverse and highly influential audience. We want to create connections and mutual benefits for startups to grow and to give new stimulus to sustainable development. The success of our Innovation Factory shows that we are on the right track. It has become the UN leading pitching platform for startups. Its new acceleration program is growing fast, and our Innovation Factory is in the action all year around. This grand finale follows monthly pitching sessions focused on the different regions and countries or different economic sectors. And this comes along with guidance from expert mentors. We need strong partnership to do this, and I thank everyone working with ITU to keep our Innovation Factory growing on scope and impact. I thank all our jury members today and everyone in the audience. I wish our finalists every success. Thank you.
Thank you for that intro. Now, let's go over our rules really quickly. Each business will get 2 minutes to pitch before they are peppered with questions from our distinguished panel of judges. And let me quickly introduce our judging panel. John Samuel Gibson from DLA Piper. Julius Hill from Global Consulting Partner to the United Nations at Deloitte. Ariane Thomas, Global Tech Director for Sustainability and Trustworthy AI at L'Oreal. Gordon Cole, co-founder of Black Digital. And Jaco Janssen van Rensburg, Vice President of Learning at ALX. Thank you to our judges, and we look forward to your questions. Now, judges, I will say, since we only have 3 minutes, we probably won't get to every judge each round, but hopefully you can share the mic a little bit. Okay. Now we're ready for our first business to pitch. Our first business is AI Diagnostics. Braden van Breda, looking forward to hearing you pitch. Take the stage. You'll have 3 minutes. You can, or you can use the handheld.
You have the clicker there.
All right, give us your name, the name of your business, and then take it away.
Hi, I'm Braden, and I'm representing AI Diagnostics. This is the devastating white plague of the 18th and 19th century. Today, we simply call it tuberculosis, but it's just as devastating. TB still kills more people than any other infectious disease globally. And it's been treatable since the 1940s. So what's the problem? Well, there's been no screening tool that's accurate enough to detect the disease early and accessible enough to do so at scale. At AI Diagnostics, we've developed an entirely new TB screening solution. Our AI detects TB by analyzing patients' lung sounds captured on our digital stethoscope. This ultra-low cost, easy to use, and consumable-free tool bridges this gap between accessibility and accuracy. We collected the largest TB lung sound database in the world to train and validate our custom AI, which already approaches the World Health Organization's performance targets. This incredible team from South Africa recently launched the solution and has rapidly been unlocking regulatory hurdles to enter new global markets. So if there are any go-to-market partners out there, please get in touch and let's scale this together. We're replicating our TB model development process to create new verticals in both lung and heart applications to plug into our platform, building towards a future where every nurse, pharmacist, or community health worker can screen for multiple diseases from a single examination, making early detection the norm. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Great job with the first pitch. You're going to stay up here. We'll go to questions from our judges. We'll have 3 minutes. Take it away, Arian.
Thank you, ladies first. Thank you, gentlemen. So thanks for your presentation. It was really very nice to read and very powerful. Regarding the AI model accuracy, how will you ensure that your model will survive the competition and the rise of the data acquisition by the others?
Sure. So, I think if you look at the primary way that tuberculosis is currently being screened, there are two ways. One is symptom-based, which is really low accuracy but highly accessible. And the other is X-ray-based screening, which has got the high accuracy level, but you still have an expensive hardware cost that you need to get. And there's a huge amount of screening and healthcare that's happening at low throughput, small clinics, pharmacies, and that's the place where our tool is just perfect to capture the disease early. So from an accuracy perspective, we're in the mid-range compared to the X-ray solutions, but we have this whole cost and accessibility and portability advantage. I mean, this is it in my hand right here. We're also, to validate our accuracy, we've obviously built our own database, which we used initially, but we've worked with FenTB across 3 continents in Peru, Vietnam, Uganda, and South Africa to validate our product, beyond ourselves.
Thank you.
One more quick question from our judges.
Thank you. In addition to the technology evolution, I'm particularly interested in your business model and your pricing, how you're looking to put this into developing countries versus developed countries, what you're thinking there in terms of commercial price points.
Sure. So when we launched, we started with a package-based solution, and now we've got a much lower base and then a per screening cost, which allows these smaller clinics to get in without the upfront cost. So that's from a customer perspective has made it really affordable. From our margin side, what we've done is we've created a WhatsApp bot that manages normal customer questions, and that has a huge cost saving. The other thing is, because our hardware is so cheap and easy to use, we built training within our app. So we just ship it out as opposed to going in and signing off and doing installation. And that's a massive, massive bottom line increaser. Like, our cost reduction is great. What we're also doing from a business model, from an acquisition interest perspective, is we've now developed this flywheel to capture data on the market, which we also close the loop and actually get bacteriological tests. But we've also built in a capability to create new verticals, and like that know-how is tricky.
Okay,
it's
that's all the time we have for our questions. Thank you so much. It's always tough being the first one to pitch. I'll take these from you. Thank you. Okay, next up we have Monica from Deavisor. Join us on stage. There you go. You can place it right there. Okay, give us your name, the name of your business, and take it away.
Okay, hi everyone, I'm Monica from Deavisor. I've been pricked, scanned, and tested for the majority of my life every single day. I have lived with diabetes for 25 years, and only up until recently I've been able to check my glucose levels only a couple of times per day. that comes with complications. And I'm one of the lucky ones, because over 50% of world's diabetic population don't even know they have it. Across regions in Africa, Southeast Asia, and Pacific, there are 240 million individuals with elevated glucose levels who don't even know about it, and they're living with it in silence. That can bring complications before diagnosis. You can ask us why. Well, because glucose monitoring devices are not built for everyone. They might be invasive, expensive, built for those with resources and awareness. Now, what if I told you then the problem solving is maybe not in a device, but within ourselves? What if I told you that maybe our voice has a story to tell itself? We're building world's first glucose monitoring system that runs on your voice. No devices, no hardware, only your voice and our simple traffic light system. Now I will demonstrate what we're building.
Hey, Monica, your glucose has been elevated for 2 hours.
Thank you, Diavisor. That's what we're doing. Our pilot has been run and tested, reaching 80% accuracy. And we're running feasibility study with 150 individuals, because the more you talk to our app, the smarter it gets. We're building this for everyone. As long as you have a device like phone, it's for you. We're backed by Plug and Play, Mass Challenge, and of course, AI for Good. We're here because you believed in us. Your voice knows. Now let's make sure that the world listens.
Great pitch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we'll have 3 minutes of questions from our judges.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you? Great presentation. Love your product. How have you done any testing in the First Nations or Indigenous communities? And also the cost per unit. How are you making that affordable?
Yes, thank you for your question. So currently, we only have been testing in my native country, Lithuania, with 150 individuals. Our next partner that we're just signing the contract with is in Portugal, and we're expanding to India and hopefully Africa after that. The cost per unit, we're expecting very low price. The majority of the money probably will go into certifying and making sure it's a safe device. I will not be able to tell you the exact cost, but currently what we're building without that, it's very, very cheap. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that presentation. In terms of the efficacy, you say that you've used a sample size of about 150 in Lithuania, is that right? What have you done to plan for maybe differences in population in terms of how the efficacy is reflected in those sample sizes before you take this to other countries? Is there any plan to do some research and testing on other populations just to make sure it has the same level of efficacy compared to a blood test, for example?
Thank you. Yes, absolutely. So what we're going for is testing it in Lithuania and at the same time now in Portugal and then in India. This is our closest this year's plan. And then we will measure the difference. We can see already right now that there is a difference. For example, women versus men have a different things that change in their voice. So we are very aware of the differences, not only of the sexes, but also races, etc. And we want to make sure that everyone has the best result. Therefore, we want to test with every single country that comes into our eyesight.
Thank you so much for the presentation. You mentioned like there's a lot of like hydration and muscle tone that affect voice elasticity, and this is kind of very sensitive to the blood glucose. But how does a person's natural voice just vary from the moment they wake up to after a long meeting? I mean, is there additional influences that could be picked up as low glucose that you're aware of, and how do you solve for that?
Yes, definitely a lot of factors influence your vocal cords. What we are doing right now is we're creating formula that affects glucose in particular. So the biomarkers that we have created Formula for our 14 different
And that's all the time
biomarkers.
we have. Thank you. Incredible
Thank you
pitch and
so
great
much.
questions from our judges and great product demo here live on stage. Not easy to do at all. Okay. Our next pitch will be Glidance with Amos Miller. Welcome him to the stage.
Whoa. Okay, so stand here, audience out in front, and judges all parallel to it.
And do you want to take my cane?
Yeah.
Hi everyone. I'm Amos Miller, the founder and CEO of Glidance, and I'm blind. And if you'd all join me for a moment and close your eyes, and when I snap my fingers, you can open your eyes again. But what if I never snap? You had sight for most of your life, you saw the smile of your loved ones, and now you wonder if you'll ever feel independent again. You can open your eyes now. This is the reality for 300 million blind people today. To get back on your feet, you're going to have to learn how to use the white cane or the guide dog. And that will take 5 years and $100,000. So only 2% of blind people actually do that. But imagine for a moment if you had a personal robot that would be with you, keep you safe, help you get around. You would be back on your feet in no time. You'd be back on your feet in no time, and no, I'm not talking about a humanoid, I'm talking about a glide. 2 wheels on the ground, you hold the handle, you say, hey Glide, let's go to Starbucks, and Glide will autonomously guide you there. A light and versatile device powered by a sensible wayfinding AI. Glide is easy to use and affordable. Most blind people can afford a cell phone, so Glide costs like a cell phone, making independent mobility accessible to millions of people, and they are lined out the door. We've already collected almost $1 million in pre-orders. Thousands have tested our devices, and they tell us that this is it feels as simple as holding onto someone's hand. With our engineering team from Google, iRobot, Amazon, Glidance is defining the category of personal robots. Look at this and tell me, if you lost your sight, which one of these would you like to guide you? We will soon have thousands and then tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of glides out in the wild. Every step unlocking independence and building that real-world data, real-world AI experience will finally unlock the generational promise of robots to better the lives of billions of people on the planet. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Great pitch, Amos. Okay. 3 minutes of questions from our judges.
So thank you for that. Really pleased to see the next generation of augmentation of tech for this solution, for the problem. My only hesitation is all of the blind guide dogs that are being put out of work with your product. But essentially, my question is related to your ability to scale. You mentioned hundreds of millions of units out in the market. What is your production capability? How do you see that? What's the timeline to be able to realize that scaling?
Yeah, of course, thank you. First of all, less than 1% of blind people actually use a guide dog. So on that comment, I don't think we'll be putting many guide dogs out of business. We work with a manufacturer in Thailand and have scaling up production initially to a few thousands so that we can test the devices in the real world and make sure that more and more blind people are able to use them and train the AI, and then we are geared to scale that up further on.
Thank you. I was impressed by the team gathering. that you have done. And I have a question. You're saying that your core innovation is lying in its sensible wayfindings, AI. How will you ensure that the system provide robust and safe navigation in highly dynamic infrastructure, different landscape?
Yeah, no, this is a great question, and this is what the team is working on hard. The first thing is that one of the big things that's important with a device like Glide is that Glide is not a fully autonomous device. There is an intelligent person attached to that device. And that's a very important aspect of the equation. The person also makes their own judgment on what's a safe step to take, what's not a safe step to take. They can hear the environment and make corrections and so on. So we work very closely with people, and of course we measure the number of failures for the number of steps and so on, so that we get to the levels of reliability that we can reliably guide people in more and more complex spaces.
I'm very interested in a user's experience if the battery fails. Let's say, for example, they plan to spend the day out, planned for 6 hours, and 2 hours in, the battery dies. Does it become more difficult than a white cane, or is it fairly user-friendly to use Glide to kind of navigate back?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that is similar to having a car, but you need to make sure that the device is set for the day. We have a 6-hour battery life, and the device will notify you long before it runs out of battery, so that you're not necessarily getting stuck in the street. The device will also have a snap-on cane that you can pull and use. Occasionally people want to be able to pull the cane and tap around, so they would be able to use that as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We have demos at the booth over there if anybody wants to come and try it out, and thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Amos. Okay. What great pitches we've had so far at the Innovation Factory semifinals. Our next business, our next entrepreneur will be Galam with Homai. Excited to have you come up and pitch.
Let's check. Can I start?
Take it away.
Hello, everyone. My name is Galim. Thank you for having me here in AI for Good Innovation Factory. Today, I'm going to tell you how our product Homai uses AI to ensure that indigenous languages are going to thrive into digital era. So, perhaps some of you, like me, grow up speaking the language that is not widely represented today. Many languages are going to extinct, taking away with them songs, fairy tales, and stories. Our team, as native speakers of Bashkir language, experienced it firsthand. And the rise of AI gives us hope we can fix this problem. First, languages was only spoken. Then writing system allowed languages to survive and made knowledge widely accessible. Now we find ourselves in digital world when languages are spoken by devices and by devices. Digitalization can help to thrive indigenous languages to the digital era. Our product Homai, Homai offers a toolkit and guidance to digitalize low-risk languages without technical barriers. Our API allows to build many applications. We handle the tech side, guide communities in collecting data, training speech models, and setting everything up from start to finish. Our first successful case was for our own native language. We built over 200 smart speakers for Bashkir-speaking schools and kindergartens. Today, they integrate Homai into their regular activities. We work with nonprofits and language enthusiasts, gathering fairy tales, songs, and traditions into the cultural knowledge database. Keeping the culture alive is part of our mission at Homai. We are seeking ESG-driven companies as sponsors to support endangered languages. We partner with NGOs, heritage groups, and universities for funding and data collection. Communities can license our tech, use our free digitalization guides, or our services for free. Homai addresses several sustainable development goals of the United Nations and is in line with the International Decade of Indigenous Languages. We apply AI to language preservation at scale. Our world is beautiful and diverse. Homa exists to help indigenous languages thrive in the digital era. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Questions from our judges?
Hi, thank you for the presentation. The ethical approvals from the indigenous peoples throughout the world, have you considered how you would do that other than the United Nations and the SDGs?
Okay, ethical considerations. I think now we are going to the new era when languages are going to be digitalized or to disappear. For example, my nephew, he barely speaks my native language because he spent more time on the internet without interacting my native language. So we need to do something to digitalize language. And yeah, maybe some people can think maybe there are some problems, but many people, they actively donate their voices to our platform because they want to see their language in the digital era.
Thank you so much for the presentation. I'm interested kind of on the technical side or the data collection side as well, but more from how that's done. So how do you transcribe this data? Is that crowdsourced? And if that is the case, and there's, for example, 10, 15% transcription errors, how do you pick that up and course correct?
Yeah, it is crowdsourced. So our platform allows you to collect pairs of text and speech. So we have the huge collection of texts in the language, and then we ask crowdsourcers to donate their voice. So just read this text, and then we have the exact match. And then we train models on this data.
Thank you also for the presentation. My question is more on the business model side. Who are your target customers for this service?
Yeah, we want to help language communities and universities who want to digitalize their language, but they don't know how to start. Also, we're seeking ESG-driven companies like banks who have some ESG KPIs that they want to invest to something, and we come to them and say, let's invest to the future of your local language if it is local bank. So it is three different directions. It is us for technical side, the community or the university for the questions about language, and for financing, it is ESG-driven companies.
Okay. Thank you, judges, and thank you for that great pitch. Love what you're building. Okay. Our next business to pitch will be VJ with OptiCloud. Welcome him to the stage. And you can take it away.
Hi, my name is Vijay Karya, CEO and co-founder of OptiCloud. My mother, a beautiful Amazonian soul, recently passed, but before she passed on, she left a lesson from my indigenous grandmother. One person's trash is another's treasure. That wisdom lives on in OptiCloud, where we can turn an organization's digital waste into major savings in their cloud spend, while dramatically lowering their energy consumption and emissions. We then recycle a portion of these savings into indigenous communities who make up just 5% of the Earth's population, yet protect 80% of its biodiversity. This type of investment is necessary for humanity's survival. Let me give you some context. 50% of the internet is digital waste. This waste is worth more than $3 trillion and drives over 2% of global emissions, and is expected to increase by 85% by 2030. With rising energy demands. Eliminating this waste can help solve the energy crisis in data centers. OptiCloud is made up of a team of AI experts and advisors from Fortune 100 companies that are on a mission to reduce global carbon emissions by over 1% through digital sanitation. As AI factories boom and cloud emissions soar, we're leading the charge in the movement of digital responsibility to make AI more sustainable. Our patented SOC 2 compliant platform enables organizations to save up to 60% in their cloud, reduce their emissions by 30%, while giving them a 100 times efficiency boost and enhancing their cybersecurity by using our cloud agents. Our solution uses custom AI models, measures energy and emissions, and is supercharged with agent-to-agent intelligence that no human team can match. With an investment of $40 million, we aim to deliver a greater than 10x return within 5 years through strategic partnerships such as Microsoft and others that are already in place. OptiCloud drives a win-win-win outcome for business, climate, and indigenous communities. Interested in recycling or investing, please come visit our booth 4337 or scan this QR code. Now here's a sneak peek of what we're up to.
With AI, we turn inefficiencies into opportunities. We transform digital footprints into sustainable pathways, and we enable innovation without compromising the planet, all to better empower you to do good business while doing business good. Welcome to OptiCloud.
Thank you.
Great job. Judges?
Great. Thanks very much for that presentation. Talk to us a little bit more about the science of how you're doing that and how companies can't decide to do that on their own and make their own products that do it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, AI is just very powerful in analyzing large data sets. We actually create custom models for each organization's data set. They don't have the time or energy to look at their trash and do all that work to create the custom model for that. It takes a lot of data science. And then we throw new type of agents on top of that pre-processed data. There's no system out there that measures the energy and emissions. So that's also custom metrics for us that gives the organization insight into how much energy they're using, and we get rid of their waste. And we actually automate that process.
I have a question bouncing back on this one as I am leading the tech sustainability roadmap for the L'Oréal Group. When we are looking at the data and the measurement in order to eliminate this digital waste, the teams have done at the infrastructure front lots of FinOps for years. And we are facing IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. And due to the move to public cloud, a big part of our footprint is in the SaaS. How will you help us to monitor the digital, not waste, but at least inefficiency there?
That's exactly what we're doing. So we connect to your public cloud, your SaaS, your cloud, and we can analyze the data on the fly. We're creating the model for your business, and we're training our agent on that data. None of it's sensitive data. This is all like, let's turn off the lights when you're not using them. If you leave your house, you don't leave your lights on. And what a lot of companies do is they'll leave their test environments, demo environments, dev environments on running all the time. That costs a lot of money. And there's a lot of misaligned incentives where, developers don't want the systems to go down over the weekend, so they oversize this type of stuff. But they can't analyze the data sets because they're too big and it's very manual. So we take all the manual out of it.
Sorry, but when it's linked to SaaS, we don't have the info. We don't have the information.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
From the SaaS, service as a service, we don't have the info from the tech provider regarding the GPU engaged, the memory engaged, the volume of data.
We're working directly with Microsoft and Google and pulling this data from them. You're correct, you don't have that access. It was in pre-release. We've been working with them to pull that information into our platform.
And that's all the time we have. Thank you. Great pitch. Thank you. Okay, our next entrepreneur to pitch in this AI for Good Innovation Factory semifinal is Eva with Prediction. Please join me in welcoming her to the stage.
Thanks.
Just give us your name, business, and you can take it away.
Hi, I'm Eva. At Prediction, we're making surgery safer. 3.5 trillion euros are annually spent on surgeries. They represent 50% of hospital expenditure. Safe and efficient surgeries are critical. Without them, our hospitals will be in financial trouble. Unfortunately, many are. Despite the high stakes, only 2% of AI FDA-approved solutions focus on surgery versus 80% on AI for diagnostics. What do all surgeries have in common? Anesthesia. 60 million patients suffer anesthesia complications every year. During your surgery, your anesthesiologist, like Pedro, our founder, will spend hours mentally integrating thousands of data points, data tracking your heart, your lungs, your brain. Essentially, he's walking a fine line. Too little anesthesia, you would be in pain. Too much, you could suffer brain damage. And the cost associated, 30 billion annually on anesthesia complications. The solution, the Prediction PDA. AI individualized anesthesia. Ooh. This is the medical device that we use in our hospital in Barcelona. This is the device. It integrates thousands of data points, and it provides the anesthesiologists with predictions, so they can adapt your level of anesthesia before you suffer complications. What it means to you as a patient: 80% less complications, 25% faster recovery. What it means to a hospital: they can increase surgeries by 25%, and they can unlock up to 5 million additional in revenue every year. The ask: 10 million euros to validate the results across hospitals around the world, so we can also publish a global framework on how to bring AI for good into the operating room. For Prediction, anesthesia is just the beginning. Let's make surgery safer together.
Great pitch. You know, I love these product demos. You know, 2 minutes doesn't sound like very long, but it's long enough to get these demos in. Great job. Questions from our judges.
Thank you. Great presentation. The capacity building.
Apologies.
The capacity building training and potential internship programs. Is that something you've considered?
Yes, absolutely. Our solution, we're talking about capacity building. This solution can be totally trained online. So actually, you will have developed a VCR solution. We can put goggles on, and we can train doctors around the world on how to use the solution.
Thank you so much for that presentation. Just wanted to find out specifically where you are within your R&D and within your clinical trials and that kind of stuff. So when will you be able to say what you'll actually be able to save?
Perfect. So the results that we have currently are of a prospective clinical study. We work in Hospital Clinic. This is the third biggest hospital in Spain, top 50 in the world. It's a hospital with 40 operating rooms, so we see all type of surgeries, all type of population. The next step is obviously a prospective, and I say obviously because it's obviously for us, not for everyone, a prospective clinical trial in our hospital again to make sure that the results I have showed you are actually the results that we can achieve. These results will then go into our technical file and our regulatory submission.
To bounce back, I have a question regarding the user feedback. Do you capture it? How do you use it? It's very important in our AI application.
Absolutely. Who are the users? Yes, the users are anesthesiologists. This is an important point because sometimes we get the question of, can nurses use this? Maybe in the future, yes, but not today. Today, anesthesia can only be delivered by an anesthesiologist. So that's the first thing. So how easy is the device to be used? I didn't have time to show an anesthesia room, but basically you would see a room full of machines, 5, 6 machines, the ones tracking your heart, your brain, etc. There's thousands of data points that the anesthesiologist in a dark room spends 8 hours mentally integrating. Imagine the difference of that to having a device in one screen. It's telling you which potential clinical outcome is going to happen, like hypotension. Instead of having to read all the machines, integrate and predict in your brain, there's a device that is telling you, be careful. This is a Google Maps. This is not an autonomous drive, yes? I'm not overriding your clinical decision. I am giving you a potential outcome, and you as anesthesiologists are taking the decision of what are you going to do with your levels of anesthesia. So we're not in self-drive cars yet, yes? That's an important... The user feedback, yes. So we have used this, apologies, with several anesthesiologists in the operating room, their outcome, and we're going to measure it in the next clinical trial. Exactly, we're going to measure it in the next clinical trial, is about the burden of cognitive behavior, yes?
Great job. That's all the time we have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great pitch. Okay, up next, Matthew with Project Home. Come to the stage. There you go.
Good afternoon, Matthew from Project Ohm. Sorry, just waiting for a presentation. A single AI data center produces or consumes as much energy as 280,000 homes and produces the carbon emissions of 1.3 million London-New York flights. The growth of AI presents two big problems. In Western Australia, over 1.4 terawatt hours of renewable energy is wasted each year. This is not a local issue. Wasted energy is a global issue. The problems are where the energy is generated, when it is generated, and the grid stability issues that it causes. Project OHM is developing grid-aware sustainable AI. OHM nodes, decentralized modular AI compute deployed directly at renewable sites. Proprietary algorithms that optimize scheduling to when green electrons are cheap, abundant, and enhance grid stability. The outcomes, 59% energy cost savings, verifiable carbon credits, enhanced grid stability, and supporting the renewable transition. Our solution is portable, plug and play, and globally scalable. Can you imagine a globally connected, renewably powered intelligence? Project OHM is the backbone for delivering all of these visionary AI projects we've heard today sustainably and powering AI for good. Thank you.
Thank you. Judges.
It's look amazing. I'm completely fan of that. The only pieces that is missing is who are your customer today? Where did you try? Because they are, you have seen in Paris the AI and Energy Convention. All the hyperscaler will need your solution. So how will you manage to do your business case?
Absolutely. Look, we're in a transition period. The problems are that AI's energy use, and of course, that is scaling uncontrollably. The grid time or grid connection times are scaling out. They're now around 4 years. So we see our opportunity as being able to scale this solution, taking advantage. We know the energy is there. We know the connectivity is there to be able to scale our solution quickly and operate and take advantage of the market situation.
So building on that question around the business case, as you look to the competitor set out there, I mean, there are many other energy organizations with battery solutions, energy optimizations for grids. What do you see the competitor landscape, and why are you uniquely different?
Absolutely. If you look at say solar, for example, as a renewable, solar is a bell curve on the grid. A battery is a rectangle. So if you put a rectangle inside the bell curve, you realize it doesn't solve the whole problem. Batteries are absolutely complementary to our solution because they extend our operational time and continue the renewable opportunity.
Thank you. We're very impressed that you tied this to the United Nations SDGs. Thank you for doing that. Along a similar vein, in terms of the customers and the demand, it strikes to me that this is an all or nothing proposition. You can have a great solution, but if they're not customers who have the demand for this and are willing to pick it up, then it kind of falls flat. Are the customers governments, or who are the customers, and what have you done to figure out what the demand is and who will buy this from you?
Absolutely. So we started obviously in Western Australia, and the biggest problem we have is that it's not a problem, it's a great statistic. We have the highest adoption of domestic rooftop solar in the world. That has led to feed inputs in our grid substations. The big problem is overloading in our substations. So dealing with our local grid operator, they need to mitigate the problem at the source. So we are providing this demand side flexibility, which is an energy market term, of which they're almost negligible competitors. How can you scale your power use so quickly? This is one unique factor of compute and also of AI workloads.
Okay, that's all the time we have. Thank you. Great job, man. All right, for those of you that are standing, we do have some seats here. Would love to have you take a seat and join us for the balance of our pitches here at the AI for Good Innovation Factory pitch at the AI for Good Global Summit 2025. Our next pitch will be by Ramita with Revolutionize.
Hi, I'm Ramita. As a child, my mother often warned me, oil your hair regularly or it will turn red, like the begging kids. Years later, during my PhD in public health nutrition, I realized the heartbreaking fact. Their red hair is actually a sign of severe malnutrition. In a country like India that feeds the nation, no child should go to bed hungry. 1.3 million children are suffering from malnutrition. More than 1/3 of world's malnourished children live in India. 73 million children have gone unscreened, leading to stunting, wasting, and even deaths. That's why we developed MAP, Malnutrition Assessment and Action Plan. With just one single click of an image, our AI-based technology can accurately predict a child's height and predicts growth irregularities based on WHO guideline. All data is geotagged, tamper-proof, and encrypted. Every diet chart is personalized. MAP can flag a lot of risk for the child. MAP is not just a technology. It's a movement. We have already screened 200,000 children and are actively collaborating with the government and piloting with schools. We have built very strong collaboration with NGOs for reach, academics for research, and AI labs for precision. Nutrition is not United Nations problem. It's everybody's. And that's why a part of our AI is open source. We believe we need collaboration to tackle this global challenge. Our goal, to reach 100 million children by 2030. In my 20-year of career as a public health leader, I have already impacted more than 1 million lives. To reach the next 100 million, I need your support. Together, let's eradicate malnutrition from the face of Earth.
Thank you. Great pitch. Judges?
Thank you so much for that. Question around, I guess, the usability and specifically around underserved communities and illiteracy, and is there a learning curve? What's the process and the journey to adoption? And is there any risk there in being over-reliant on this new tool?
That's a great question. A lot of academia and research are asking about our validation and legitimacy. My question is, it has to be seen as zero intervention versus intervention. We are taking intervention where there is zero intervention. So there is a learning curve. We have built our own proprietary data set. We have funded a lot of resources, time, and investment in creating those data sets from India, making it population scale. This is scalable to the globe. And we are training the primary healthcare workers. Yes, absolutely, there's a learning curve. And the competition is with carrying scales and monitoring each and every infant and child until they reach 6 years of age. And if you can just carry your phone and do that, I think that's amazing. So over-reliance would be a problem of developed world. In a country like India, Africa, Asia, I think we are just beginning.
So building on that, your goal is to hit 100 million lives to affect. What is your model to scale that? How are you going to get that beyond India to the rest of the world?
Absolutely. Partnership. I believe in PPP, which is public-private partnership. I also believe in policy, patient capital, and philanthropy coming together. And we want to be that success story that, yes, please invest in startups like us who are solving issues, namely thought that these are government's issue or United Nations issue. No, I think we should be solving it together. Partnership is the key. And we are piloting with Government of India, both central, federal. We are also invited by WHO to present. And I think we are here to collaborate and take it to scale.
I don't know if we have time, but we are very impressed by your passion, and that goes a long way. Once you have the data and you determine which children are malnourished,
yes,
what's the next step?
Yeah, absolutely. So people started expecting solution from us, and because of Gen AI, we give them one single touch, personalized data plan, which is localized, contextual for the community. So if imagine in India, one state vegetarian who can take milk but can't take egg, absolutely nutrition plan. But otherwise, traditionally, because we are working with the government, we refer that child to the primary healthcare center.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all the time we have. Thank you. Map it. Okay, up next we have Sirkin, who will pitch Visor AI. Welcome him to the stage.
Hi everyone, I'm Serkan Sökmen, CEO and co-founder at Visor AI. Today, healthcare systems face a major challenge, increasing patient numbers leading to heavier workloads. But AI, it still hasn't reached hospital in a meaningful way. Why? Because most medical AI models are trained on small or disconnected dataset and not generalized. They fail in real hospital conditions. At Visor AI, we have built a platform that collects all patient data in one place, which healthcare professionals can use for their daily imaging and reporting process. Accessing meaningful of patient data, our models improve locally using federated and active learning approaches. This keeps patient data private and creates AI that actually works in real-world settings. We support all medical imaging types, CT, MRI, X-ray, and even digital pathology. Our platform enables doctors to detect disease faster, get instant second opinion, and improve diagnostic process safely and accurately. And here's the best part. Clinicians and developers can create their own AI product using our platform. No coding or AI expertise required. Since launching in June 2024, we have raised 500,000 euros. We have obtained all the regulatory certifications, and we have already onboarded 11 organizations, including a couple of large hospitals. We have a team of we have very large team of 18 people who work very hard to build AI that saves lives. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting AI for Good.
Great pitch. Okay, judges.
Thank you. Great presentation, product. Your collaboration piece, is there a desire to collaborate with the AI ecosystem, academic, health, and other research institutions?
Yes, but we are providing some solutions like a PACS and pathology information management systems. But we are trying to transform with AI in the healthcare sector. We are trying to digitalize and we are trying to transform using AI.
I have a question. How do you ensure the competitive advantage of your diagnostic versus your competition?
Yes, so many AI companies focusing on radiology, but we are providing digital pathology solutions. It's a niche sector. In the global, the pathologists, they are using microscope, but we can detect the cancer in the pathology. We need more information about the patient. Because of that, we are providing digital pathology solution too.
Okay, technical question. What is your stack in terms of technical infrastructure?
Yeah, it's computing science because Some digital pathology image size is very big data. We need more computing size, and we are trying to reach more. Yeah.
Okay.
Great presentation deck. I think that told a lot of the story. That was very helpful.
Thanks.
How are you going to deal with private patient medical information? And you have to handle that in order to make this work, right?
Yeah, great questions. Actually, we work on prem systems. This keeps patient data private and creates AI works actually real-world settings. Because we are training AI models in on-prem. We don't need data because the data belongs to them.
Okay, thank you. Great pitch.
Welcome.
Okay, everybody, we are now at our last pitch for our Innovation Factory semifinal here at AI for Good Global Summit in Geneva, Switzerland. Sonia with Cure AI, please join us on stage.
Is this on? Yeah. Hi, hello everyone. I'm Sanya. I represent Cure.ai. We are one of the most deployed healthcare AI solutions globally. We are deployed in more than 100 plus countries, and our focus has been low and middle income settings. So most of this work we've done is in areas where there is no electricity, no internet, and also very much remote from the healthcare system. We worked very closely with different countries in Africa, in Southeast Asia, and Latin America. And we are proud to say that we've impacted more than 33 million individuals. We started with and none of this is alone. We, of course, partner extensively with public health institutions, with academic partners, and also population health programs. We've started with this belief that for high quality, timely diagnostics, this should not depend on where you are. We've started building and scaling imaging-based AI solutions. So imagine 3 billion chest X-rays are undertaken almost everywhere globally. But do we have enough radiologists? Do we have enough clinicians? No. And a lot of these radiologists also kind of differ in their interpretations. So we built a chest X-ray AI solution, which is trusted by which has saved around 9 million individuals in detecting signs of tuberculosis, lung cancer, and heart failure. Our solution has been tested on a large data set of more than 11 million images drawn from Africa, from diverse settings, from different age groups and gender distributions. The same chest X-ray tool can be used by the healthcare worker. This has been evaluated by WHO to be used for screening and triage of tuberculosis in the absence of a trained radiologist or a doctor. The solution is interoperable, so the same AI can work with any different X-ray machine out there. There are a lot of handheld X-ray devices which are in communities when there are no doctors. This can work offline, can give results in less than a minute, and can detect any other findings wrong on chest X-rays. We've been able to demonstrate impact in terms of more case notifications, in terms of cost savings.
And that's all the time we have. Thank you. Okay. Now we'll have 3 minutes from our judges.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you so much for that presentation. You mentioned you're the most deployed AI solution, so I'm gonna go with that and kind of ask you a question on that. So if a competitor then launches like an equal accuracy solution at like a lower cost, how do you plan to defend your scale and your solution?
I think I was coming to that. AI is only one part of it, right? The actual part is how do you take it to the last mile. So we've really learned from how do you deploy in a setting where there is no internet, right? How do you deploy in a setting where there is internet, where there's power glitches? So the actual learnings and expertise has been how have you taken AI to the last mile? So the clinical accuracy is only one part of it. Costs are, of course, when we serve to the LMICs, we have to look at access pricing, but how do you shape the policy? A lot of times we end up doing capacity building for the government stakeholders themselves, asking questions about data privacy, things to keep in mind when you deploy AI in such low setting. So that is something which we've been very much proud of. How do you deploy AI on the ground? It can be as good.
So building on that, obviously you've already affected many lives, as you stated, but where are you in terms of your next stage of growth? In terms of your current funding round, what are you looking to raise next? And how do you plan your ambition to scale?
So AI-based imaging was one, right? We really wanted to show that AI can work in the last mile. Now we are actually looking at primary healthcare solutions based on LLM models to support frontline workers. So we are moving beyond the imaging-based solutions as well. Imaging is just part of the entire patient pathway. Digitization, capturing the right data, loop closure, linking patient to the treatment. The whole patient pathway has so much opportunities for AI to impact. And now we are actually launching a primary care solution, which we are testing in local settings across the globe. And that's where we would really want to partner and generate impact.
I have a question. It's I was very interested in the diagnostic part, detect early part. In terms of strategy and next step, will you build a prevent part on your...
Definitely. So that's what I was talking about, that we are building an LLM-based tool. It's called IRA. We launched it in the World Health Assembly, and we are now testing it on the ground. The idea is to support healthcare workers to also counsel the patients, and very patient-specific counseling. So if a patient is 35 years old, comes up with a past history of diabetes, what is the next steps of guidance which an untrained healthcare worker with different capacities globally can be used, can leverage AI to actually engage meaningfully more with the patients. So that's where we are progressing, leveraging our learnings from deploying AI in really under-resourced settings. That's where we want to go. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Great job, and thank you to our judges. Here we go. Thank you. All right, guys, so I misspoke. We do have one more pitch. We're going to have Yvonne from Elevate Africa AI join us on stage for our final pitch of the competition. Please welcome her. There you go. And just give us your name, the name of your business, and you can take it away.
All right, thank you so much. My name is Yvonne from Elevate AI Africa. So we asked ourselves a very bold question. What does digital inclusivity and artificial intelligence mean in a world where 2.6 billion people are completely offline? In Africa alone, over 400 million adults do not own a smartphone or connect to the internet. This gap is deadly in childcare and maternal health. Every day, 800 women and 7,000 newborn babies die from preventable childbirth and pregnancy complications. Every year, 5 million children under the age of 5 die from treatable conditions like dehydration, even fever, to mention a few. Not because care does not exist, but because more often than not, it reaches the mothers in underserved communities too late. Our innovation and our answer to this question is Mama-Made. Our innovation was built in silence, the kind of silence many women in underserved communities know too well. No guidance, no tools, just fear. But this fear is not personal, and this silence is not personal. It is systemic, because due to a lack of information, children, mothers die. Our innovation seeks to bring World Health Organization information to mothers on time through a digital platform that is solar chargeable, no app, no electricity, no Wi-Fi, and it has a digital e-platform whereby mothers can have a voice command with it. in their local languages. So this allows them to engage with it even in low literacy settings. We built MamaMate because we believe that no child should die due to a lack of information, and no woman should die giving life. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions from our judges?
Thank you for your presentation to a very important issue. The role of the both parents and the fathers and the males, are they being included in terms of supporting and shifting the paradigm of saving lives with this very important project?
Yes, this tool can be used by a caregiver and a mother. So it addresses mothers and fathers. All they need to do is voice command it and access the information in it. Thank you.
An impressive innovation and presentation. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
How will you get this product in the hands of moms and folks who need it when they need it? How will you get those products in their hands?
Thank you for that question. So this product was co-designed with African midwives and verified by doctors and mothers themselves in low-resource settings. Our plan to get it to the mothers is through governments and NGOs for the beginning part. And over time, if we manage to scale and make it cheap enough, it can be accessible easily, and we can make it easily bought by anyone. Like anyone can have access to it and buy it. Thanks.
Love the idea that it's available offline for rural communities. I wanted to find out, at what point does that break? If it's a month, 2 months, is there a point where the edge device model drifts, and is there a warning when that happens?
So thank you so much for that question. We inbuilt it. We have a proprietary AI built into it. We call it Birthright. And Birthright is derived from a lot of data that's World Health Organization standard data up to 3 months of age for children. So the information in it cuts off when the child is 3. But research shows that early nutrition and early infant care is very, very important, particularly when you look at the different percentiles that World Health Organization has charted out with reference to child development. So, and all the guidelines that currently are there, well, there's more than that, but the critical guidelines are from 0 to 3 years.
I agree, my colleagues. Very important cause and a very big market, addressable market to tackle. But I didn't quite catch, where exactly are you in the development cycle, in the number of units you've already used, in your plans going forward?
Thank you. So we funded it pretty much ourselves to get it where it is today. Much as we have a lot of institutional partners, we have a partnership with the African Union, we have a partnership with the Southern African Development Community, but where it stands at the moment in terms of regulations, only two countries.
And that's all the time we have. Thank you so much, judges, for your question, and thank you so much for the great pitch. Okay, everybody. Well, that's the end of the pitches, but stay put because you're going to want to hear the announcement of our winner. So we're going to give our judges here a few minutes to deliberate and tabulate and come up with scoring for the entrepreneurs that you've heard pitch. While we're waiting on our judges to do that, two things. One, I have some questions for our entrepreneurs, but also would love to open it up to the audience if anyone in the audience has questions. So first, maybe we can have our entrepreneurs, if you'd like to join us on stage, and then we'll open it up to questions from our judges or questions from anyone in the audience if folks have them. Yeah. Okay. Great group of entrepreneurs. Yeah, you can give those to. Okay, so all of you have participated in at least a couple of rounds of pitches. Would love to hear, because maybe there's some other entrepreneurs in the audience, how does your pitch change over time? Does it change from virtual to in-person, or do you pretty much keep it the same? Any variation? How does it change over time, if at all? Anybody? Yeah.
I change mine every time because I feel like I've got to keep it fresh personally. But I think it's really just about the audience. I mean, 2 minutes is a really short pitch, and so I think you've got to try just get 2 big points across. And so that's how I sort of change it with the amount of time I've got and the type of audience.
Makes sense. Anybody else? Yeah, sure.
I think maybe just to really frame it in 2 minutes, you have overall, what market are you playing? What is your problem? What is your solution? And especially, always ask for something, yes? You have the opportunity, you have a network here, then close with an ask.
Yeah, great advice. Anything from the audience? I thought we had one. Yeah, there we go. And just let us know if it's directed towards anyone in particular, or if you want anyone to respond.
Yeah, so my question is mostly general, and anybody could answer. So first of all, huge congratulations to all of you of building some amazing solution. I think we need more of them. The question I have is that how are you balancing, AI is kind of, creating impact at much a faster pace, correct? The new models are coming, new architectures are coming. How are you balancing that with urge to try something new, which is just published, or which is something, and versus continue with your product roadmap or research things? I'm just curious to hear your thoughts. How do you keep a balance between both?
Thank you. Anyone want to take that? Yeah.
For us, we always had to be on our feet based on what new research is coming up, because we had this algorithm that could predict the height with a great accuracy, but then the customers, they said, oh, can you do weight with a photograph? And we know it was very difficult. So we now have a research team that is studying, that is reading all the research, collaborating, that can we push the limit to do more? But it always comes from what the customer is asking us. How can we help the already existing pathways with newer approaches? But it is always they first and not the willingness to do more. So feature less, more of usefulness, I would say. Yeah.
I think what we have done is have our clinical research team part of the product roadmap. So when the product team is thinking about different capabilities, that's one. You have research scientists also giving inputs on what is the evidence. And second, whatever product capabilities that we take out, that is implemented, we make sure that we work either with other partners and generate evidence. What's working on the ground and what's not. So we have those teams working together very closely.
All right, thank you. Looks like we have another audience question. While she's running over there, I have a quick question for everybody. So I do casting for Shark Tank, the television show in the US and in other places around the world. Sometimes entrepreneurs come on Shark Tank and they get, kind of aggressive, sharky questions from our panel. Have you ever gotten kind of an aggressive question or kind of a combative question from a judge? And if so, how do you handle that as an entrepreneur on stage? Anybody? So everybody's nice to you guys. That's fine. That's good to hear. Oh, Matt.
I think you've got to ignore the contents of the actual question. Just focus on the question itself. So just pass the sentiment and just focus on delivering a response.
Yeah, Mix.
I would add on that. First, I take a very, very, very big breath, yes? Then I look up and I think, okay, let's calm myself and really understand what the question is about. Because in your head, you're thinking they're attacking you, but probably it is a genuine question. Yeah. It's more in your head that it's like they're seeing some of the limitations of my solution. So be humble. Yes, my solution still has limitations, and construct on that.
Great advice. Okay, sir.
Is it on? Yeah. What was the process that you have gone through before you reach this stage?
Oh, so what's the process? I know the process, but they want to hear from you all. How did you apply for the Innovation Factory? How did you pitch? How did you end up getting here today? Anybody want to take it?
Sure. You first have to write an application online. It's all available on the AI for Good websites and ITU websites to apply. There's different categories. So some of us work in robotics, health. My category was climate, but we had to go through multiple rounds of pitching against other solutions. We were selected as one of the top 2 to present at COP29. And then we were the winner for the AI for Climate Action Award at COP29, and that's how we won this position here.
Yeah, I won't add too much to the process. I'll just add something that before, for Amos and I at Glidance, we actually found out about this through an accelerator. As founders, as entrepreneurs, you're busy with your head down focusing on your core business. I recommend to everyone, accelerators, incubators, they reached out to us to say, hey, we think you'd be a great fit for this. Would you like to apply? We applied, and then obviously we went through kind of the same process as the gentleman here, but we would have never learned about it, never heard about it without third parties representing for us, with us, and really wanting us to do things outside of the box. So I recommend it to all entrepreneurs, accelerators, incubators. Get out there, get your names on their list, because their whole goal is to help you and to bring opportunities in front of you. So go for it.
I'd love to hear from you as well, because you are a special addition to this competition. What was your process like to get here?
Well, thank you. Well, for me, I came across the AI for Good Innovation Factory competition on LinkedIn, and that's how I ended up applying for it and getting Elevate onto it. Because I was like, oh wow, such a good platform, addressing what AI could be, aligned with our vision. That's why we applied for it.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you again to all of our entrepreneurs for participating. Our judges have come to a decision, and now our judge spokesperson will make the announcement, which we're all excited to hear. Just give them 1 second here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Map, AI. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Listen, on behalf of all the judges here, we are just very impressed with every single innovation and every single presentation here and the way they answer the questions. So a round of applause for all of these folks. This is what the UN, ITU, and AI for Good is all about, so thank you. Unfortunately, we can only pick 4 folks to go on to the next round. If your name isn't called, we still thank you for participating in this, and keep on going with your innovations. And now we present the list of 4 who will advance. Glidance. Predicción. Map AI. And the final contestant who will advance, Elevate Africa. Congratulations. Thank you
Yes,
very much.
congratulations to those that are moving on, and thank you again to every entrepreneur. I have certificates here for you that I'll pass out to you, but thanks again for participating. Thanks for the work that you're doing, driving positive impact using artificial intelligence and machine learning technology. Thank you, of course, to our judges, and thank you to Guillaume and Emile and the team here for putting everything together. We're excited to see you participate in the finals, and I hope you all will join us for the AI Film Festival on Center Stage here in a couple of hours. I'll be hosting if you're not tired of hearing my voice. Would love to see you there. There's some really innovative and interesting film projects that we will be premiering here at the festival. Thank you.